So, have you ever wondered how those massive, life altering transformations actually happen? It's almost never one big, dramatic event. Today, we're going to dive into James Clear's Atomic Habits to uncover the secret power of making changes so small they're practically invisible. All right, let's jump right in with a story that sounds almost made up, but is totally true. And it perfectly shows the power of these tiny compounding gains. Get this, it's about a national sports team that went from being, well, a complete joke to an absolute powerhouse. Yep, we're talking about British cycling. For over 100 years, they were just not good. I mean, they had won only a single Olympic gold medal in their entire history. It got so bad that top bike manufacturers wouldn't even sell them equipment because they thought it would make them look bad. Ouch. But then in 2003, everything changed. A new director, Dave Brailsford, came on board, and he brought this totally new idea with him, something he called the aggregation of marginal gains. Now, the concept itself is pretty simple, but the way they applied it, absolutely revolutionary. See, they didn't just look at the obvious stuff like the bike or the training. Nope. They hunted for tiny 1% improvements in everything. I'm talking about things you would never ever think matter for a bike race, like testing different massage gels or hiring a surgeon just to teach them how to wash their hands properly. They even found the perfect pillow for each rider. Each little thing on its own seems kind of pointless, right? But when you put them all together, wow, the results were absolutely mind-blowing. Just 5 years later, at the 2008 Beijing Olympics, the team just dominated. They walked away with an incredible 60% of all the gold medals available in cycling. It was one of the most stunning turnarounds in sports history. So, that story is amazing, right? It proves that these tiny improvements really do work. But to make them stick in our lives, we've got to understand a little bit about the psychology behind it all. It's not just about setting goals, we have to go deeper. I mean, think about it. We've all been there. You set a big goal, you're going to lose weight, or finally learn that language, or write that book. But then that initial burst of motivation just kind of fizzles out. So what's going on here? Why does this keep happening? Well, according to James Clear, the problem is that we're usually focused on the wrong thing entirely. He breaks down behavior change into these 3 layers, kind of like an onion. And this is the real secret to understanding why some habits stick and others just don't. Okay, so that outermost layer, that's our outcomes. This is the result we're aiming for, like losing 20 pounds or publishing that book. This is where pretty much everybody starts, and unfortunately, it's also where most people stop. It's the most superficial level of change. So we peel that back and we get to the next layer, processes. This is all about what you do, your workout routine, your writing schedule. Changing your systems and habits here is definitely a step up from just focusing on the outcome, but we're still not at the real heart of the matter. And this is where it all clicks. The core, the deepest layer, is your identity. This is about changing what you believe about yourself. See, real, lasting change doesn't happen from the outside in. It has to come from the inside out. This is probably the most powerful shift in the whole book. Stop thinking, my goal is to run a marathon. Instead, think, my goal is to become a runner. Or instead of, I want to read 30 books, it's, I want to become a reader. The real goal isn't the finish line. It's about becoming that person. The marathon? That's just a cool thing that runners do. Okay, so that makes sense, right? Change your identity. But how do you even start doing that? You might think the answer is more willpower or motivation, but it's not. The most powerful tool we have is something most of us completely ignore, our environment. Let me give you a really dramatic example of this from the book. During the Vietnam War, a shocking number of U.S. soldiers, over 15%, became addicted to heroin. And it's no wonder. The environment was just filled with triggers, incredible stress, easy access, and social pressure. Now, back then, a lot of people thought heroin addiction was basically a life sentence. But when those soldiers came back home, something absolutely incredible happened. 9 out of 10 of them kicked the habit, almost overnight. Just like that. So what happened? It's simple. Their environment completely changed. All those powerful triggers, the stress, the easy access, the social cues, they were all gone. And this showed something huge. A radical change in your surroundings can lead to a radical change in your behavior. And you don't need a war zone to see this in action. The same exact principle works in everyday life. There was this study in a hospital cafeteria where they just added more water bottles to all the drink stations. That's it. They didn't say a word to anyone. And what happened? Soda sales dropped and water sales shot up by over 25%. And this all leads to what I think is the most powerful and practical takeaway from the whole book. Yes, our environment shapes us, but we're not just victims of it. We can actually do something about it. You can also be the architect of it. You have the power to design your world to make the good habits easy and the bad habits hard. You get to be in control. And this isn't about some huge, complicated life overhaul. It's about small, smart changes. You want to exercise more? Simple. Put your workout clothes out the night before. Want to eat healthier? Chop up some fruits and veggies over the weekend so they're easy to grab. You need to focus? Put your phone in another room while you work. It all comes down to this really simple idea. Reduce the friction for your good habits and increase the friction for your bad ones. Basically, you want to design a life where just going with the flow, taking the path of least resistance, leads you straight to becoming the person you want to be. So here's the bottom line. Stop waiting around for motivation to strike. It's fickle. Instead, just take a look around you. Your environment is this silent partner, shaping your actions every single day. The real question is, are you going to let it control you? Or are you going to grab the pencil? What's the first small change you can make to your own blueprint, starting today?